Good afternoon, everybody. Tony Margatelli here, Chair at ICPA, and welcome to another one of my ICPA in Practice blogs. It's a very, very difficult one, this one. People can perceive that auto-enrolment, here's something that's going to be happening to all our clients, certainly if you're doing a payroll option, but certainly all our clients are going to have to get, who have got employees, are going to have to get involved with auto-enrolment. So it would appear to be obvious that we as accountants should be getting involved. Those of us, there are plenty of people who think, no, this should be an IFA neck of the woods. Really not for us, but the IFA people aren't seeming to be too quick to get involved. Obviously, we're going to have to get involved at small practice level with our small individual members, with our small clients. Whether it's an income generator is another issue altogether. It will obviously, there will have to be additional costs, but whether it can be, you know, the evangelical arm of the accountancy profession are already dancing, going, oh, here's another opportunity to make more money. But at small practice level, I don't really think they're seeing the problems and the work that's involved clearly and understand them. If you are dealing with a large company, then I would think life becomes significantly easier to understand, and I think undoubtedly you're looking at a ragingly obvious income generating opportunity for a larger business. For a small practice, for a small company with one, maybe two employees, it's a different ball game altogether. Absolutely not. It's very, very interesting. An awful lot of small practice, we did a survey recently, and it was frightening numbers. Something like 50% of people who were asked had no idea when their staging date was, and those, when they were talked about it as being, oh, it's 2017, they were saying, well, that's miles away, I haven't got to worry about anything. No, RTI in essence, I suppose the answer was, it was a tech issue. It was a case of making sure that the technology worked, making sure the gateway linked up with the software providers, making sure that everything, you understood what you were doing, new terminology, etc., etc. But predominantly, our neck of the woods as accountants and handling the payroll was to make sure that the our individual clients understood timescales, etc. It wasn't that phenomenally difficult. However, auto-enrolment is a completely different game altogether. So it is not like RTI, and it will not be as simple. And that's the big concern that we've got. Although 2017 seems to be a long way away, those of us who are over a certain number of years in life know by the cringe it's there before you can bat your eye. It will be upon us, and you have to start thinking, you have to start planning now. No, as I said, there's been lots of surveys, and I think small business owners, it's really strange. I was actually sitting talking to a client this morning, usual going through accounts, etc. Had no conception what I was talking to when I mentioned auto-enrolment, when I mentioned staging dates. This is nothing new. As I said, I think surveys have shown phenomenal percentage who've got no idea what's involved. We have a massive education program got to be happening between now and staging date, and okay, the government are going to put out some ads, etc., etc. It will not have the same impact as if we direct this education directly to our clients. Small practice accountants, now is the time to start educating your clients that this is coming and what it's all about and what it's involving, etc., etc. Even if you are not aiming to have anything to do with it, you would still advise your clients if tax changes, if certain things changes, even if you are not going to be involved. So even if you're not thinking of having anything to do with it, or you don't offer a payroll service whatsoever, I believe you should still be trying to educate your clients that this is coming, and I'm sure they will be coming to you with questions anyway. But if you can go in first and educate in advance, it obviously will make you look good. Well, I think, let's be 100% honest, I don't think there's many other people out there going to do it. as good as we can do it. Let's put it that way. The IFAs don't seem to be too interested in it whatsoever. The pension providers themselves, well, let's be 100% honest, most of them, the big names that we all know, are not going to want to know the small pension scheme at all. So they're not pushing out tons and tons of education. It has to be, I think, the purview of the accountant. I think if we're providing the payroll service and if we're looking after our clients' best interest, I think the education has to be coming from us. Yes, there's going to be some element of cost that we're going to have to pass on, but it's going to come from the accountants, and I think we're probably the best people to get it across to our small business clients. Let's think about this logically, right? Everyone's being told they've got to go into this pension scheme. We all know there's opt-in, opt-out. Well, they're in and they've got to opt-out. We all know this. We also know that there's going to be some fairly horrendous fines and penalties flying around. Now, what we've got to be careful of is that this supposed income generating source doesn't turn out to become a PI flipping claim. Let's remember, we're not, you've got to check your practice credentials yourself, make sure you're capable of dealing with some of the financial service aspects of this. We're not supposed to be going out there and advising on which pension's better than which others unless you're allowed to give that financial advice. So be careful what advice you're giving out and what you're saying, but there's absolutely nothing wrong in helping your clients, but the final decision on the service provider has to be the client's. It's not yours, right? Remember also that we're going to have to educate our clients to understand that if the staff say that have got to be told what it's all about, they've got to be educated to know, because they're going to go to the employer. The employer is going to want to come to us for help and advice. So you've got to work all this out in advance. And of course, what you've got to understand is, take the raging obvious, if the employee wants to opt out, he's going to go to the employer and say, I don't want this, I want to opt out. The employer then has to tell us, the accountant, that Mr. Smithy wants to opt out, so can you opt him out in time? We then have to press the button, get them opted out within the time scale. Isn't life grand? If that falls down anywhere along the line, whether we don't do what we should do straight away, or whether the client forgets to tell us, etc., somewhere along the line, people are going to get upset, people are going to start looking for scapegoats, and before we know it, we're into fun and games and claims flying all over the place. So it's very, very important that at a small business level and small practice level, you keep your eye open and educate your clients and explain what's going on so they know the importance of what this is all about.